1 2 1 2. Let me know if you hear it. 1 2 1 2. I'm hoping we on now. I'm good. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome to Conversations with Malik. Okay, we're gonna get it back going again. Let's get it back going again. Let's do this. Let's do this right again. Let's do this right again. Yeah. 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 Sorry for the technical difficulties. Conversation with Malik. Conversations with Malik. Yeah. All right, you can hear me. Cool. Yep. Anybody from Southside, you know, we used to say, well, 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 well. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I gotta get my music started. I'm from Queens, man. I gotta get my Queens music started. Sorry about that. Welcome to Conversations with Malik. And listen, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. We had some past few shows have been good. Please like our Facebook page, Conversations with Malik. If you ever miss any of the shows, all you have to do is scroll back on the Facebook page. Hey, cuz, how you doing? I see you, Amber. Scroll back on the Facebook page and you can see previous shows. Okay, you can listen in and tune in. And you know, we got a lot of good material. We got good things coming up. You know, listen, stay tuned, man. And I want to get right into it. I just want to get right. I want to get right into it. Okay. We had a few technical difficulties, but we up. It's not easy here in the studio. There's a lot of technical things. There's microphones and all of that. But, you know, we getting there. We got wires and stuff all over the place. But look, so we got the government shutdown. So the government shut down, right? Mr. Deal Maker, Donald Trump, the art of the deal, the king of the deal, couldn't get a deal done to keep the government open. Now, the Republicans control all three branches of government. They control the House, they control the Senate, and they have the White House, the U.S. presidency. They're in control. But just being fair-minded, in the Senate, you need 60 votes. So they needed 10 Democrats to pass this, to keep the government open. Now, so Trump's solution, Trump tweets that this is why people got to come out and vote. The same person who's been a Democrat all his life, the same person who funded Democratic campaigns, is now saying this is why people got to come out and vote so that they can have at least 60 votes. So now that they can pass whatever it is that they want to pass in the Senate. So he doesn't believe in balance. I'm telling you, he has a German, his family is from Karlstadt, and he has an old dictator. He has a dictator's philosophy about how to rule. He does. He is a guy who hasn't spoken to Obama since that day that we saw all of them him and Obama meet. They haven't spoken since that day. Now, I understand why Obama hasn't spoken to him. I wouldn't speak to him either. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't speak to him. But you would think that somebody that's been in the position that you're going in, and they've been in that position for 8 years, don't you think that that person would be able to give you some sound leadership and experiential advice to help you avoid some of the pitfalls and the potholes? Don't you think? I mean, I would think so. How big is your ego that you won't let someone who has been where you are kind of guide and direct you? That's ignorant. And so let me tell you something else. I get why he doesn't do it, because he doesn't value. He looks at, this is the guy that said Obama wasn't even born here. So he doesn't look at him favorably. He doesn't think Obama's smart. He doesn't even think he can learn anything from Obama. He hates Obama. He's been attacking the guy since he's been in office. So the government shut down. They can't seem to agree. One of the sticking points is DACA, whether children who were born here, who parents came here as immigrants, should be allowed to stay. And there's 800,000 of them. Why is that even a discussion? Why are we discussing that? Trump's family's from Bavaria. Do you know what it was like in Karlstadt, Bavaria? There was a reason his family came over here. Just look up 18th century Bavaria when his parents came over. They didn't have anything. They were leaving. Things were tough where they from, and I don't want to use the word shithole that he used to describe African nations and people from Haiti. But Bavaria was a shithole. And it kind of still is. That place is messed up. His family came from there and got an opportunity. Why not somebody else? Well, that's okay, because y'all were white. His grandfather was able to come over here and get his start. Look up the life of Grandpa Trump. That's what I'm going to call him. How he went out into Seattle. He was out in Seattle. He opened businesses. Matter of fact, his first business was a whole house. They sold liquor out of there. And he prostituted women. Trump's grandfather was a prostitute. Look this up. This is easy to find. Just do your homework. So now I know why you look at women the way you look at them. Why you was with that, he was just with, it just came out that he was with a porn star while he was married. While he's married. So Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, these guys, they go out with Trump and they on the golf course, they play golf with him. And then they turn around and he says one thing at one part of the day, and the later part of the day, he says a total another thing. The guy's inconsistent. He's all over the place. And he's playing identity politics based on emotion. I want you to watch it. Follow. He's playing identity politics based on emotion. And the emotion, why people, because what are his policies? You need a border wall. A strong wall. Yo, the Mexican cartels are going to get drugs into the country. They're allowed to bring drugs into the country. Anybody that has half a brain knows all of the stories about COINTELPRO, about Rick Ross. You could just watch Rick Ross's story. Not Rick Ross the rapper, but Rick Ross. Rick Ross from LA. You can learn the story. A wall isn't stopping drugs from coming in. See, they run campaigns based on fear and then get people hyped up. So you want to board a wall, you want to be tough on crime. Tough on crime just means being tough on blacks. That's all that means. Tough on crime means being tough on blacks. Code word. You want to, so what else is his policies? Let's talk about Trump's policies. We're going to talk about a little politics, and then we're going to go on to USA Gymnastics. And then I want to talk about, I have a message to young black entrepreneurs, because I've been getting questions and people are always talking to me, and I'm talking, I have some prospective business dealings that's coming up with young black entrepreneurs. So we want to talk about that. And that's one of my things, finances. But we're going to start with this. And so that's his policies. Tough on crime, border wall, immigration, regulation, deregulate so that companies don't have to. You know what regulations are? You gotta listen, really listen to this guy when he talks. You know what a regulation is? I own several businesses, and in my business field, there are regulations that I have to follow that regulate the business world that I'm in, that regulates my business, so that I don't do things that are against the best interests of the community that I'm serving, the state that I'm in, or the industry that I'm providing the service into. That's what regulations do. Regulations also require you to have certain things in place. And listen, man, I deal with DOT, I deal with different organizations, and sometimes they drive me crazy, but all of the hoops that they put me through make me better. It makes me a better businessman. Regulations make sure that companies are operating on the up and up. Do you want to know what else regulations do? Because when you hear Trump talk about deregulation, listen, regulation also works in the behalf of the employee, of the people that are working. Companies have to have certain standards when they're dealing with their employees. It protects workers and unions. They have to follow certain codes of ethics. And when you deregulate, then, some of these companies don't have to be on the up and up when they're doing business practices. Now I get it. He wants to, if you let the Republicans tell it, that the reason they want to, deregulate so that we can get work done quicker. That's their thing. Got the sun coming through here. Sorry about that. That's their thing. So they could get work done quicker. If you let them tell it, deregulation allows for more work to get done in a faster, they can get projects up off the ground. Yeah, but are those projects safe? Who controls the hiring process? When you have less regulation, you have more corruption. Regulations are put in place to stop corruption. Regulations are also put in place so that minority businesses get fair shots at contracts. When you deregulate, those regulations are no longer in place. So now you could just give the contracts to the good old boys. I'm in business. I know. There's a certain amount of contracts that they have to let us have. Why? Because the whole concept of that is to stop there being monopolies. Monopolies aren't good for the society. So when you hear Trump talk about deregulation, he's talking about, listen, that's code word for let's make sure there's a handful of the good old boys that can have access to the power. See? Cutting taxes, trickle down economics. So we're going to cut taxes. We're going to cut regulations. We're going to allow these guys to pocket more money. And we're going to trust the goodness of their hearts that they're going to pass that money down through the workforce. And that people on the lower end of the totem pole are going to get access to that money from those tax cuts. Does anybody really believe that? And why do voters come out for that? And I'm going to tell you why. Voters come out for that because it's identity politics and emotional sensations. They hear Trump is talking the gift of gab. He's talking tough against the colored people. He's talking tough on crime. They understand it. When he says America first, make America great again, that just means, bring America back to a time when certain people had the upper hand. That's all that means. And that rings true to people who are upset. Now, these same people that are upset don't understand that the reason why a lot of jobs were shipped overseas is because of these same politicians that they're voting for allowed these corporations to do it. That's why the jobs aren't here. That's why the jobs aren't here. So, listen, since slavery, and I'm going to move on from this, since slavery, they've been telling white people that your problem is the people of color, right? And they convinced them, don't like them. Don't like them. Not to like them. And you know what? One thing I never understood about slavery. I never understood how you don't like somebody that's working for you for free. I never understood that. I'm sorry, man. You don't like somebody that's working for you for free. Why you don't? I don't get it. You're not paying them. You don't like them. What are you mad at them for? And he's still mad. We're not your problem. We're not your problem, man. So listen. So the government will eventually get back open. But I'm telling you, 2018, this is the year to vote. This is the year to come out. This is the year to change policies. And I'm just interested to watch this whole thing play out. Now, USA Gymnastics. Listen, we've seen this over and over and over again. So women are coming out. The whole hashtag Me Too, I'm happy for it. I see it. Big ups. Keep doing what you're doing. Right? And so we've seen institutions cover up sexual misconduct because they're trying to protect the brand. We've seen it in Hollywood, with Hollywood studios. We've seen it with Penn State, with Sandusky. Goes on and on, right? Now we're seeing it, the USA Gymnastics. And Dr. Larry Nassar, all of those years where I used to be watching gymnastics, I used to be looking at that guy with the glasses. Just please Google and look up Larry Nassar. He's a weird looking guy. Yo, I used to be looking at this guy like, he's the trainer. Like, this is the doctor. This guy just looked weird. Creepy dude. I don't know if that'd be a tough one for me to trust my daughter around this guy. But let me tell you, so 100 women have come forth to testify about Dr. Larry Nassar. 100 women, they're testifying, but there's more. More than 150 came forward. So, and it's funny because he had in his possession 37,000 explicit images of child sex pornography. 37,000 in his possession. Yo, dog, you had a real serious sex addiction problem. He's a doctor. He needs a doctor. He needs a psychologist. There was over 360 cases dating back 20 years of sexual misconduct by gymnasts. 360 cases. So USA Gymnastics, shame on you. You've been covering this up. You've been paying women off that have come forward. You knew about this. Sort of like the Catholic Church, protecting your brand. Priest do something, fondle a boy or a girl. You pay the people off. You give them a gag order. They can't say anything. You know about it. And now you just send the person off to work someplace else. In this case, you knew about what Larry Nassar was doing and you covered it up. The pure USA Gymnastics. That the Olympics is supposed to be the best of us. The Olympics is supposed to be the best. Simone Biles, Gabby Douglas, Ali Reisman, Jessica Howard. And then let's go over the names that people that we know of, that we watch dance and perform. You know how we fall in love with those girls. You know how we fall in love with them. And Jeanette Antolin, Simone Biles, Jamie Dampshire, Rachel Den Hollander, Gabby Douglas, Jessica Howard, Lindsay Lemke, Kaylee Lawrence, Michaela Maroney, Cameron Moore, and Catherine. They wouldn't even give her last name. And these people know about this. Steve Penny, CEO of USA Gymnastics. Come on, Steve, you know about this. I've been following this. So he resigned. Why do you have to resign? And why can't these people get fired? See, when you resign, you get a golden parachute. So these people get rewarded. They get allowed to keep their 401ks, their pensions, bonuses in some cases. They still can collect unemployment. Why? And you played a part. You played a part in young women being raped and molested and fondled by this creep with USA Gymnastics. USA Gymnastics is that important that you would let that happen to young women over and over and over again? And Steve Penny gets to resign. Why you don't get fired? Katie Claggies from MS. And so this whole thing is connected to Michigan State, another institution. Here we go again. Here we go again with these institutions. Because Larry Nassar got his degree from Michigan State. And so the USA Olympics is connected to Michigan State. Ah. See? Now y'all see? Now y'all see the connection? This is big money. They don't care about these girls. They don't care about these kids. But European societies never really cared about their women. That's just real. I mean, listen, we could go back to the Crusades when the Moors which was the Arabs and the Berbers, the Africans, they were losing their power because the Spanish and the Portuguese began to exert themselves with weapons. And they began to drive them out. But they marched hundreds of thousands of young European teens to the coast to sell to the Arabs. The same infidel Arabs that they were supposed to be fighting against. So this whole thing with USA Gymnastics, this shouldn't be a shock historically. Historically, European societies don't value their women. They don't. Marched all those kids to the Mediterranean to sell them to the ships, to the same infidel Arabs that they told the people in Spain and throughout Europe that they were fighting against. Hypocritical. Hypocrites. And they're hypocritical today. They're hypocritical today. They covered this up for years. They knew about this guy. And you want to know how they got caught? This is how they got caught. They got caught because a lady who got a $1 million settlement with USA Gymnastics, part of the contract clause was that if she came out, she would have to suffer a $100,000 fine. And she just couldn't take it no more. Her conscience, and God bless you, her conscience said, I can't take it no more. You know what? I'm breaking the contract. She broke the contract, and that opened the waters to the dam. That opened the waters. So now we get all of these women coming out. And Dr. Larry Nassar, who's made a lot of money, by the way, in USA Gymnastics. And USA Gymnastics is a conglomerate. You need to look up the salaries of those people that's in administration there. They make a lot of money. But yeah, there's egg on your face on the world scene. And I couldn't do this show without talking about that. Because it's young, and so, you know, look, he just had his pick of the litter. And so, when you're stretching somebody, that's like any woman that has really been stretched out by a trainer knows that it's really, really, it's a sensation there. There's a sensation there. I had a friend of mine. She said, "Yo, man, the training. What's up, Wayne? I see you." She said the trainer was stretching me out so good, I almost had an orgasm. No, it's serious. When somebody knows what they're doing, and if you have a trainer that stretches and relaxes your muscles, there's sexual parts of sensation that women don't even know are there. So imagine these young girls with USA Gymnastics. They're learning their sexuality, and here's this guy that's massaging them and stretching them out. And there's a little tiny bit of erotic, there's an erotic nature to it. It's sexual in nature. And he takes advantage of them. And imagine the prison these young women were in. They've been doing gymnastics all their life. They finally got a shot to be in the Olympics. Who never dreamed of being in the Olympics? Everybody, come on, the Olympics. It don't get much bigger than the Olympics. And this guy does something to you. And we were watching those women perform, those young ladies perform. And they were suffering from sexual molestation by a sexual predator that was standing right there. I have more respect for them, because not only did they have to deal with the pressure that comes with being on the biggest stage, which is the Olympics, but they were also suffering eternally from a sexual predator and an institution that didn't protect them. Shame on you, USA Gymnastics. Shame on you. And you've gotten my, you know what? You've gotten my shame on you award. Shame on you. And now a message to I wanted to now talk to young Black business owners, male and female, and I'm gonna play a little something I want you to listen to, because every time I hear this, and it's the verse from it's from Baby Boy, but Fabulous was wise enough to put it on his song, and I love it. I want you to listen to it, and then I'm gonna start speaking.
I hear you. You know the problem with you little niggas? You think you know everything about the damn world. You don't know shit.
Nope.
I see you got yourself a little business going on. That's good. That's good. You make that paper.
Make that paper.
But when you're making paper, you gotta learn some rules to go with it. You gotta learn the difference between guns and butter. There are two types of niggas in this world. There are niggas with guns and niggas with butter. Now what are the guns? The guns, that's the real stuff.
Yep.
The stop bombs.
Yep.
Artwork, you know, shit that appreciates with value. What's the butter? Cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other bullshit that don't mean shit after you buy it. That's what it's all about. Guns and butter, baby.
Yeah.
Little dumb motherfuckers.
Listen, I like that. I like that. And the reason why I played that, is because what happens to young entrepreneurs, they make a few key mistakes. One of the mistakes that they make is that they focus more on what they're trying to attain. And I want you to listen. They focus more on what they're trying to attain instead of focusing more on the substance of the brand that they're building. Don't be more about symbol than substance. And so he talked about that. The difference between guns and butter. Where are you putting your money into? It's spiritual. Being a business person and spirituality, they work hand in hand. The concepts are the same, and I'm going to explain the concepts to you. It's all about energy and where you distribute your energy, resources. So in life, you know, if I'm carefully channeling my energy spiritually, right? I'm not giving all of myself in one area. So, you know, you have to save some of your spirituality for you. The best spiritual teachers and the people who inspire people the most know that they also have to be healthy in order to be effective. You never really give all of yourself. You can't, because you won't have nothing left. Yes, I have to give, but I can't give all of myself. And it's the same thing with business. You gotta watch your money. You have to save money for future opportunities, right? And it's where am I putting my money when I start out in business? Because finance is a concept that has to be practically applied. And there's some discipline. There's a lot of discipline that goes with it. If you make $1,000, how much should you save? I would say to you that if you make $1,000, you should at least save $250. At least. If you could save more, but at least save $250. Now everybody has to live, and I get it. But you got to create the brand and stick to the plan. And what is your plan? First off, when I make the plan, I always talk about this. I got to look at all of the ways that my plan can fail. I gotta, Olympia LePont was talking about this. And she was talking about how at NASA, what they do when they're trying to launch rockets, they look at all of the ways that the rocket launch can be unsuccessful. And then they make sure that everything that they do counteracts that. You got to really take time to look at your plan. Create the brand, the plan, and expect to fail a lot. But don't get discouraged during the failures. You got to have failures and you got to have meetings. And you got to have, now, if you're in this business with other people, you have to have frank, practical, upfront meetings where everybody is allowed in that meeting to talk about how they feel. And for them expressing how they feel, not to be held against them. One of the biggest handicap with African American people is that we're too sensitive. We're too sensitive. I want to kick it to you. We're too overly sensitive. Why? Because we're scarred people. A lot of us are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. Some of us have been let down by our families. Some of us have been abandoned. We got different issues. So all of those issues are brought to the table. We got issues of trust. We don't see everybody as being reliable. So all of this is going to be there with your business team. All of these different, these different issues are going to be there with your business team. Now, follow me. You got to be flexible in your approach. And what I mean by being flexible is, I have a saying, if you can think this thought, then think another. What does that mean? Don't get locked into your thoughts. Y'all might have a business plan, but plans are made to be adjusted. And I guarantee you, when you give yourself time and you look at your business plan that you started out with and how you go about trying to achieve those same dreams and goals 2 years from then, it's going to be totally different. Allow yourself room for flexibility. Don't get locked in. Great business people are flexible. They're flexible in a couple of ways. Great business people are flexible with their employees. They're flexible with themselves. They're flexible with the plan. Another thing, try to team up with trustworthy people, understanding that everyone is not in it or meant to be in it for the long run. When you start out with a business idea with somebody, you start out with some people, you got to keep in mind that if you start something and there's 5 people on the team, there's a good chance that you might not even have one person from that same team 2 or 3 years from now. I guarantee you. Why? Because when you start something with people, with a group of people, everybody's idea and motives about attaining the goal is different. Because everybody looks at things differently. So when you start, and some people are selfish by nature. So when people join something, they're looking to see what it is that they can get out of it. How is it going to best benefit them? And lies where the dilemma starts in business. And I want you to listen, young Black entrepreneurs, listen to me. Because we're dealing with a lot of different factors. We're dealing with the Willie Lynch syndrome. Okay? Remember when Willie Lynch was brought to the shores of America because they had problems with the slaves. Slavery was rough on them. People were running away. We were always breaking away. And he came and he said, put the light skin against the dark skin, the male against the female, the short against the tall. The one with the big nose against the one with the small nose, the one with the big hands against the one with the small hands. Put them, against each other with names and tribes, and never miss a step to exploit what makes them different. Never miss a step. Always point it out, and always. So you gotta watching business, that there's gonna be differences among y'all. It's not easy. We don't, as a people, we don't just trust each other. In general, just trust each other. It's not easy getting back past the character defects and the shortcomings of people when you're trying to work in business. I found that my experience as a young Black entrepreneur, that people will give you opportunities if you're serious. And I want people to get that whole thing. And that's why I read Black Enterprise Magazine, because I hate that whole thing that, Blacks don't do good business. I hate that. You need to read Black Enterprise Magazine. So there's people of all races that don't do good business. Really. Come on. I've been in all kinds of businesses that I'll never go back to. All shades of colors. People will do business to you. Don't be afraid to take your brand to anybody. Don't be afraid. People just want to see a couple of things. And this is how you build the foundation. What's up, Butch? I see you. This is how you build your foundation in business. One, you got to save your money for future opportunities. There's an old saying, when preparation meets opportunity, what does that equal? When preparation meets opportunity, that equals success. Let's talk about the preparation part. How am I preparing myself for opportunity when opportunity comes? Because opportunity comes around like the orbit. Eminem, let me tell you something. Eminem made one of the most powerful records that you will ever hear. And it's called Lose Yourself. You better lose yourself in the moment. You know it, you better never let it go. You got one shot to not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity knocks once in a lifetime. I work out to that record. That's a powerful record. You better lose yourself in the moment. You know it, you better never let it go. I love it. You only got one shot to not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity knocks once in a lifetime. When your opportunity comes, where are you going to be? I asked the question the other day. I said, how long does it take to become an overnight success? And some people answered overnight. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. It takes a long time to become an overnight success. It takes a long time. It takes days and days and days and days and days of preparation. So when preparation meets opportunity, that equals success, right? So now, preparation does a couple of things. Preparation sets me up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically for when the opportunity comes, I can capitalize on it. What is preparation? Preparation is getting your books together, making sure you got your business plan, making sure that you're saving money, making sure that you're building your credit, that you're opening business cards in the name of the business, debit cards, credit cards, Dun & Bradstreet number. I want you to take this and use this. This is for free. I'm giving you jewels for free. There's some jewels in this dome he could sell if you chose. Remember when I said that? You set up your bricks and sticks. The bricks is you putting your feet on the ground. The sticks is the paperwork. Get the paperwork together. Get you an accountant, somebody that does your taxes. Take your time, learn about the taxes. It's not just about running and hustling. And that was one of the biggest transitions that I had to make, is learning how to sit and cross the T's and dot the I's. This is where meditation comes into place. I'm going to talk about meditation until my dying breath. Why? Because it's more needed. And the African American community doesn't want to talk about meditation. And that's why a lot of people are so mentally unstable. Let me give you a couple quick practices. Because somebody said to me, Malik, you talk about meditation. How do you meditate? There's no one way. Let me give you a couple of introductory points. You breathe in real slow through your nose until your stomach fills. And you breathe out real slow through your mouth. You breathe in the good energy. You breathe out the bad energy. You let it go. You let it out. When you're controlling your breathing is going to control your heart rate. This is scientific. This is biological. Your heart rate is going to also, you breathing in, is going to give you healthy oxygen to your brain. Your brain is going to get an opportunity to rest and relax from all of the Twitter, the social media, your cell phone, your wife, your kids, your husband, your job, all of the things you think you got to do. That 10 minutes or that 20 minutes is going to be going towards your health. Now, another key, somebody said to me, Malik, so when I try to meditate, my mind is running. The reason why the mind is running, because there's 5 parts of the brain. That's why your mind is running. So there's different parts of your brain. Surrender to it. There's nothing you could do. The human brain is the most elaborate mechanism ever created. 30 supercomputers don't match up to it. I'm going there. I'm going there because some of you young Black entrepreneurs are going to understand this. You're going to get it. If you don't get it now, you'll get it later. And what that does is surrender to the fact that your mind is racing. But when you practice something over and over, 2 weeks into meditation, 3 weeks into meditation, you're going to notice that you're going to go long periods without nothing going on in your mind. You do that for 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. You go periods of the day where you don't look at your phone, where you're not listening to any music. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to start to get. You're going to start to get soundness of mind. With soundness of mind comes clarity. Through clarity, wisdom comes in. And then you start to make prophetic choices. Then you start to look and you go, yo, wow, I thought of that. People start saying to you, yo, you're a genius. That was a great idea. You then get the ability to foresee and troubleshoot problems, and you get the ability to not react emotionally, but you start to see things from the inside. And that's a gift. That's a gift of being a business person. A lot of great business people, I talked about this in the other speech, that Andrew Carnegie talked about how it's important to be able to do one thing for 5 minutes. This was back in the 1920s. Be able to do one thing for 5 minutes. Imagine if you could go a whole day and not be disturbed by any of the outside trials and tribulations of life. Worrying about people you can't change. Worrying about events that you can't change. Not worrying about future things that you got to take care of that's pressing from next week. Not sulking over things from the past. And just really be able to lock in and focus on this present moment, your present moment dealings. Wise business people are currently aware. So every conversation you have with somebody you're doing business with, you're listening. You're locked in, you're tuned in. And I'm gonna tell you something that's really key and important. Being able to hear what people aren't saying to you. Being able to hear what people aren't saying to you. Being able to hear that. I'm here, Rocco. I'm doing the show. Call me. I'm here. Come through. Come through, man. Yep, I'm home. No problem. I'm here. Look, I had to answer the phone because that's the construction guy coming to look at the garage so that we can set up our new studio. So I had to answer the phone, people. Had to answer the phone because we building and he's coming through on a Saturday. We getting work done. We want the studio to be nice. Now, another thing, and this is key, and I want to get to this because I want to close in an hour. I got the guy on the way, so we want to go over some things. Another key is this. Expect people that you start out in business with to betray you. I'm sorry. Don't be surprised if somebody, they could even be your best friend, betrays you in business. I mean, just look at it. People break up in business. People who love each other. When you have a business partner, your business partner might have something in their mind that you don't even know. I want to tell you to expect it and try not to take it personally if you get betrayed in business, and really stick to the script. I'm gonna do a show, and this show is gonna be called well on Monday we're doing a show about relationships, but then I got another show coming on next week, and it's gonna be about haters are my elevators. Haterade is my Gatorade. You like that? Haterade is my Gatorade. Yeah, that's gonna be a show. Haters are my elevators. I like that. I might get a shirt like that. That'd be nice instead of having this Adidas. Haters are my elevators. Haterade is my Gatorade. But in business, you will get betrayed, but don't take it personally. Try not to take it personally, really. And have more. So a lot of young business people that come over and they come to talk to me and they have plans and they want me to invest with them. I tell them no, but because I hear the flawed story and they're telling me what they think I want to hear. And they seem to have the cart before the horse. Another thing I watch what kind of car you pull up in. when you want to talk to me. Because you're not supposed to, I want you to remember something in business. You shouldn't look like the amount of money you're making. If you're making $1 million and you look like $1 million, that's a problem. You making $1 million, but you look like you're making only a couple $100,000. That's good. That means to me that you're going to be around for a while. Because there's a lot of people that's only making tens of thousands of dollars. Butch. Yo, Butch, look, man, come on, man. You, come on, you know, you've been around too long. I don't apply to you, Butch. I like that jag, though, man. Anytime, you know, next time you come up, man, you gotta let me whip that for a second. but it's crazy. But yeah, look. I shouldn't exactly look like how I'm doing. That's one of my biggest things. I'm doing better than I look. And it's gonna stay like that. I bump into people, you know, I do business with people, and when I find out sometimes where they live, I'm like, whoa, I never suspected that from that guy. Or some of the things they do, or some of the things they're involved in. I'm like, whoa. What it is that a lot of African Americans suffer from low self-esteem. So you attach your esteem to your business. I want you to follow me. I only got a few minutes. I got the contractor coming because, you know, we want to build this studio and have this studio right for the interviews and the things that we got set up coming up. Because we suffer from low self-esteem, the first thing we look to do when we get money is we falsely build up our self-esteem, falsely, through the acquisition of exterior items. And I would encourage you, you know, there's an old African saying, the higher the monkey climbs, the more he shows his behind. The higher a monkey climbs, the more he shows his behind. It's an old African proverb. Why? Because the higher you ascend, the more you're private. It's a lot of wisdom in that saying. The more your private life and the behind is a private part, but it's symbolism to the higher you ascend, the more your private life is going to show, the more you're going to be in the limelight and people are going to see you. Nobody notices you when you're low, but when you go high, we now see parts of you. We see all of you. The higher a monkey climbs, the more he shows his behind. The higher a tree wants to grow, the more deeply rooted it has to be. You want to be a tree that grows to 100 feet, then your roots are going to have to be 75 feet deep. But a tree, before it grows up, it grows down. You plant a seed in the ground, you ever dig up an ungrown seed, you'll see the roots growing down in the ground before it tries to grow up to the sunlight. I'm trying to teach you something here. And that's the preparation I was talking about that gets you prepared for opportunity. How long does it take to become an overnight success? It takes a long time. You got plans on wanting to make another big move. You got to first grow. That's why I turn people down, because I'm listening to what you're not saying to me. Because the plan we need to be putting together is supposed to be the infrastructure that's going to hold and sustain the building that we're trying to grow. That's first, before anything. How we're going to build the infrastructure properly. Are we trying to make mortar without sand? Come on, we learned it. With the big bad wolf. What you build your house out of? Huh? You build your house out of straw. What happened to that house when the big bad wolf came? He blew the house down. Build your house out of sticks. What happened? Blew the house down. When you build your house out of concrete, what happens? It'll protect you from the big bad wolf. And let me tell you, life is going to throw you curveballs in business. Not everybody's cut to be a business person. You think you ain't going to have ups and downs, you're extremely delusional. Because being in business is just like when you see the person and they got the heart monitors on them. It's ups and downs. It's ups and downs. It builds character. It's just like life, man. You better be saving for a rainy day. If things are going good and you get a 2-3 year run where you're making a lot of money, bank it. Why? Because you might have a year run where it's not coming in like it was coming in. And what else are you investing in? Are you pouring your money into things that aren't giving you back a return? I don't care what it is. Where's your money going from the business? What are you putting it into? We're in 2018. So 2017, and I'm gonna close 2 minutes. Where's your 2015 money? Show me something tangible from your 2015 money. So when I ask that question, they go, and then if they can point out, because see, I'm wise, man. I was raised by the best, man. Listen, I was raised from the streets, man. And it's the same concept from hustling, from having to re-up with your pack. It's the same concept. I learned economics on 150th Street and 90th Avenue. 107 in Guy Brewer. 137 for farmers. I learned economics, Rochdale. I might have learned it the wrong way, but I learned it. And there's a certain concept, and I just didn't learn it there. I'm a student of business. I'm a businessman now. I'm not a hustler. There's a hustler aspect of being a businessman, but I'm a businessman, not a hustler. I used to be a hustler. I'm a businessman. So the second part of that question, and I vet people and I watch who I deal with, is that if you can show me something tangible from 2015, how is that tangibility sustaining your future progress? Because I don't want you to just show me a symbol. I'm talking about substance. I might start doing business courses for young Black entrepreneurs, because what's happening is we aren't taught economics. These kids are being taught to go to school, but they're not taught economics and economic structural planning from a practical standpoint. Jewish kids have a whole day where they're taught economics. A whole day. and they'll wear 2 suits until they own 3 or 4 houses. So our children aren't learning enough economic strategy. And a lot of y'all don't know enough neither. Adults, you don't know, so you can't teach them. Send them to people that can teach them. We're talking with some business owners. We want to start doing some things where young men can come and follow us for a week and be with us and get schooled. There's not enough fathers around. There's not enough uncles to kick the wisdom to them. You gotta learn it. Somebody gotta teach it to you, hands-on. I learned it hands-on from, I got a saying that I learned my lessons from the dead. A lot of the people who I learned what I know from are no longer here, but they were hustlers, man. My friend Mikey was the hustlingest hustler ever. Mikey, Ev, and if Ev tuned in, me and Ev was just talking about Mikey. If Mikey would have lived to be 20, he'd have been a millionaire. This kid, we could come out broke, man. Rest in peace, Mikey. I love you, man. It's my first best friend. We come out broke and by 12 o'clock have hundreds of dollars in our pockets. Hundreds. 11, 12, 13 years old. And we need to do more than just financial seminars. But we need to do actual economic planning procedures that young men need to learn, and women. Listen, I said some good things here. We talked about White House shutdown, talked about Trump, we talked about USA Gymnastics, and the third part is we talked about, a message to young Black entrepreneurs. Listen, if you have somebody in your family, please share that with them. Let them listen to it. And I'm going to do more on it. I'm going to have segments on my show where I play that baby boy verse, because there's a lot of meat and potatoes there. And I should maybe end with it. If I could get to it right. Let me see if I could get to it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave with this. I'm gonna play it again.
I hear you. You know the problem with you little nigga? You think you know everything about the damn world. You don't know shit. I see you got yourself a little business going on. That's good. That's good. You make that paper. But when you're making paper, you gotta learn some rules to go with it. You gotta learn the difference between guns and butter. There's 2 types of niggas in this world. There's niggas with guns and niggas with butter. Now what are the guns? The guns, that's the real estate. The stuff from bombs, artwork, shit that appreciates with value. What's the butter? Cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other bullshit that don't mean shit after you buy it. That's what it's all about. Guns and butter, baby. Little dumb motherfuckers.
Peace and blessings.